Alright, hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor, and today is just going to be a chatty get ready with me. So I am doing my makeup so that I can film videos. I am going to try and get some filming done today. Not try. I am. I'm getting filming done today. How is everyone doing? How was everyone's Memorial Day? I cannot believe that June is on Sunday. That is so crazy. Also, it's so crazy. It was so beautiful over the weekend, and then yesterday and today, it is Wednesday, May 28th, and it is so dreary outside. It is not pretty. I don't know, it is supposed to start getting nicer towards the weekend, which, you know, that's fine. I have a baby shower this weekend. I'm so excited to finally give my friend the blanket that I made for her nursery. My boyfriend's got a bachelor party for his friend who's getting married. And then I have a friend coming over on Sunday, and I'm gonna take her to the romance bookstore here in Minneapolis, and I'm super excited. My boyfriend and I also got approved for an apartment together to move in like August. So like that's super exciting. Oh my goodness. I've been not stressed out about it, more like apartments come and go so quickly on like Zillow or apartments.com or whatever thing you use to look up available apartments, and so you have to jump on them so quickly. So my boyfriend came over on Monday and we were just like hanging out, and I started looking at some stuff. I use the apartments.com app quite a bit, but I don't use the app's like features a ton. I'll be like, okay, I like this apartment, then I'll go to the apartment website. You can use their tools and stuff, but I notice that when I have done that in the past, it takes a long time for people to get back to you. Whereas if you just contact them directly, you're fine. But yeah, so I found this one, and I was like, hey, Chad, what do you think of this? And he was like, oh my god, it's perfect. It has exactly what we want. We wanted a 2-bedroom with a deck, in-unit washer, dryer, and dishwasher if we were lucky. So the big thing was I really wanted the 2-bedroom, and I know he really wanted a deck. I know that next summer when we're like living together in this place, we're gonna want to go and like buy flowers and things that we can grow on our deck. So those were what were kind of like important. It is a 1.5 bath, so it has like an ensuite bathroom, but it's like just a toilet and a sink, which is fine. I kind of wish it had the shower, but there's so many other, like it so does not matter. Yeah, I'm really excited. We actually won't be in St. Paul. I'm not gonna say where we're gonna be, but we'll be outside of the city. I guess you could say we're moving to the suburbs. But I actually feel really good about it. We're gonna be close to a lot of things that I feel like I'm missing living in this area right now. Like, we're gonna be really close to a grocery store. I'm gonna be within walking distance to a library. And I think that is just going to be kind of more of what I'm used to from when I was like living in South Dakota, and maybe just more of like, maybe more of what I want. You know, I tried this for a year. I love living where I live in Minneapolis, but it is really hard to get in and out. Closest like Walmart is like 15 minutes away, and like I don't love having to shop at Walmart, but it is, you know, right now what I can afford. Or, you know, I go to Aldi when I can. The biggest thing for me, though, with no longer living in this city, which is nice, is we won't have to pay for parking. That is the #1 thing that drives me crazy about living here, is the parking is asinine. Like, for example, they didn't have any above ground parking spots available when I moved into this place. So my only option if I needed parking was to do garage parking. And I was like, well, fine. You know how much that is per month? $140. Let it be known that the downfall of Taylor living in the cities is the fucking parking. Like, there are so many places in the city that don't even offer parking. It's wild to me. And you know, yeah, maybe I've been spoiled when I was like living in South Dakota and I'd never had to pay for parking before, other than like maybe when I would go downtown during the day. But even at night, like, you didn't have to pay for parking after like 6 p.m. I just want to know, where's that money going? What are you using that money for? I don't trust that you're responsible with it. Or else, you might not make me pay for parking. Just ridiculous. But I'm very excited. That also means that I don't want to be like I need to. I should always be, you know, striving to like use what I have. I already do try to do that as much as I can. But really it's going to be like reading every single book on my TBR if I can. I'm trying. And reading the books that that I borrowed. I should say that my grandma forced me to take from her. Love her so dearly, but she was like, you need to read these books. And I'm like, okay. Granted, 2 of them are Kristen Hanna books, and I've heard nothing but good things about pretty much every Kristen Hanna book. She lent me The Great Alone and Winter Garden. I tried reading Winter Garden, but there is, this is really early on in the book. I did like kind of like soft DNF it because there is like a health problem that happens with the main girls that we follow, their father, and it, oh god, whew, it like made me so sad that I like couldn't keep reading at that point. And it's so crazy, like my dad's alive and relatively healthy to my knowledge, but I think just like even the thought of like losing one or both of my parents is just like so daunting to me. My parents aren't old either. My parents are like in their mid-40s. Like I hope that I'm able to keep them for, you know, a long time. But it just like, I don't know, it hit me like really hard and I like was not able to pick the book up since. And that's not a spoiler. It happens like 40 pages in. I really think that anything under like 75 pages isn't too much of a spoiler unless it's like maybe a thriller or a horror. That's just my opinion, but yeah, so that's why I did not continue with Winter Garden. And then I've heard The Great Alone is super, super good. I've also been reading through like, yeah, so I have that, and then my grandma likes these kind of like, you know how sometimes with historical fiction, it feels like every historical fiction book is about World War II. My grandma really likes World War II historical fiction. And I'm not saying that, like, I don't like it. I just don't read it very often. I would not say that historical fiction is, like, my jam, really. Which is probably why I'm dragging my feet on the Kristen Hanna books, because they're all historical fiction. I like accurate historical fiction. And I did read The Ford Winds by Kristen Hanna, and I know that that was, like, pretty accurate. It's just hard. I mean, I don't know everything about history, but, you know, I like if I can read something and then I can be like, oh, this is like, this certain thing is factual. That's kind of why I like Hamilton a lot. Because Hamilton is pretty, like, historically accurate for the most part. Like, I mean, it also still tells the story of, like, rich white men. And it's so crazy, too. I learned in A People's History of the United States that Alexander Hamilton believes that rich people are divinely rich. Like, the founding fathers weren't, like, religious people, but they did believe in, like, a divine being. They just, like, didn't really believe in, like, the Christianic God, because everyone thought the Puritans were fucking weird. Speaking of A People's History, and it's so crazy that Alexander Hamilton would say that, because he was new money. He married into his money. Sorry, that's, like, infuriating to me. Sorry, I just got to, 90s, early 2000s in a people's history, so I'm so close to being done with that book. I'm really, really excited because that book has been a behemoth. I cannot believe that I will have read all of that, and I'm really proud of myself about it, actually. I really do think that, you know, if you are someone who grew up in the United States, you know, went through the public education system, and, you know, got a ton of education on United States history because we think that we're the center of the universe, I think you should read this book because it is really good and interesting, and it doesn't just rehash all of the stuff. Like I always say, when I was in school, I felt like I learned the same things year after year after year, and I'm like, where's something new? And people's history is definitely a history that I did not learn. Like so many of the riots and the protests and all of this stuff I knew nothing of. Like we all learn about the Triangle Shirtwaist Company fires, but we don't learn about any of the other protests or fires or things that happened to these working women. I'm also almost done with The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Also a very good book. I actually I was such an adult yesterday and went to the doctor to establish care, also because I needed another prescription of my antidepressant. They like took my blood, gave me shots, did all the other fun adult things that you gotta do to stay healthy. So I did that, and the nurse who was giving me my shots, I was like, yeah, I'm reading this book, da 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 da. And like, I have not gotten shots by anyone other than my friend who is a like pharmacy manager since college. So I just like always trusted her to like give me my vaccines, and having my vaccines done by someone else felt weird, but she did a very good job. I just get so nervous when it comes to shots, but so I'm like yapping to this lady, and I was like, yeah, have you heard of the book The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks? And she was like, oh, no, I haven't. I was like, you should read it since you work in medicine. Because Henrietta Lacks, if you ever heard of like HeLa cells, they helped in the creation of the polio vaccine. They helped people discover like the HPV virus. They are still used like today, and they all came from a tumor in this black woman, Henrietta Lacks. And so a piece of this tumor was like kind of taken without her consent. Not kind of, it was. And the book is the story of Henrietta and her family and all of the scientific advancements in medicine that we have been able to make through using these cells. It also talks about like her family and, you know, how they played a part, because at certain points her family was contacted for stuff, and what role they play and continue to play, or, you know. I'm almost done with it. I've got about 4 hours left, which seems like a lot, but I listened to it on audio, and I don't know, 4 hours is kind of nothing when it comes to an audiobook. But I think even people who aren't super interested in nonfiction would like The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, because it reads very much like a novel, and, you know, it kind of jumps around. The chapters are really short. They're not, it doesn't like drag on at all. So, I mean, I really think that it's a very good read. And I know that it's kind of been bounced around as like a really prominent like Black history book. And I think that that's really cool as well. What do I want to do for eyeshadow today? I feel like I'm just yapping. I also picked up my clarinet from my storage unit, and I might play my clarinet for the first time in 4 years. Because I played the clarinet all throughout high school and college, and I want to play it again. I filmed one of these when I was going to like the end of year party for our like forensics program. And I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to like fully bring these back, but I think I do. I really, really like just sitting and yapping. So I think I want to do these and crocheting chats because I'm just a talkative gal. I did miss an upload on Monday. Yikes. But I don't know, it's just because, you know, it was Memorial Day, my boyfriend and I, we were so lazy, like all weekend, we just read and made food and cuddled, and honestly, it was really, really nice. I just didn't have to worry about a thing. We're on to season 4 of You. We finally finished season 3. Not that season 3 is a slog, I do think that like seasons 2 and 3 are the best, in my opinion. Love is definitely my favorite. So but see, I think other people who watch You, can we all agree that like after season 3, it is a complete tone shift. It is completely different. Not that season 4 isn't entertaining. It absolutely is. I'm excited for my boyfriend to see it and be like, what in the world is that? But it's completely different than the vibes of seasons 1 through 3. Maybe it's because they wanted to start showing like a level of like unhingedness. I don't know. But the show kind of goes off its rocker. This is Revlon's Rose Velvet. And honestly, for years, this has been a pretty good lipstick for me. So, like, this one is really good for me, and Taupe is really good for me. Although Taupe is definitely, like, a brown lipstick, which is why I'm, like, kind of not going with it today, because I did, like, the bright pink blush. Although it's not coming off as bright as it normally does, but that's fine. That's fine with me. I gotta start thinking about what makeup I want to do for my friend's wedding, because I decided I'm gonna do my own makeup. I've gotten my makeup done for a friend's wedding like one time, and that was really fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a very like fun experience getting like your hair and your makeup done, but I just decided it was better for me to do my own. So I am going to be picking up like a matte, I almost said mascara, a matte foundation, and just because I shouldn't say I really like. The foundation kind of cocktail that I have right now is fine, but it's an outdoor wedding in July. Wow, my wings are going 2 different ways. Whatever, don't think about it too much. Okay, like this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, and then this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I'm not really the biggest fan of either of these, but together they're fine. They're just okay, right? I need something more long wearing. It's a July outdoor wedding. I need something that's going to be able to photograph well all throughout the day. I already have a powder, the True Match L'Oreal powder. This is probably going to be fine. Here is the makeup for my filming night. God, my hair is looking like extra red. I'm getting my hair redone next week, and I'm so excited. Okay, sorry. Yeah, thanks so much for sitting and chatting with me today. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this so that we can hang out all the time. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.